Hello there, snacks. Welcome back. It's a bunch of stories with their most recent of updates today. Starting with this gentleman from r/marriage, who, though he sounds like he's in pain, is getting absolutely no help in the comments. My wife booked our anniversary trip without me. It began a week ago and shortly was deleted by themselves, but it's the internet and nothing is gone forever. Okay, my wife posted a question about this somewhere on Reddit. Maybe here, I don't know. And now I can't find it. First time using Reddit. She posted about me not wanting to go on an anniversary trip that she had planned. She showed me the responses, and some said I was checked out of the marriage. A lot of them also said just to book the trip anyways, and I'd get over it. After she showed me the responses, we tried to talk it out, but she was mad that I couldn't give her a valid reason for not wanting to go. She said she hasn't traveled in over 5 years, and she was going either way. I kind of thought she'd eventually get over it and forget about the trip. But, well, she took Reddit's advice and booked the trip anyways. But instead of booking it for the two of us, she booked it for her and a male coworker. Yes, a long weekend in the Caribbean with a coworker. I asked her if anything was going on between them, and she said no. I had no reason to believe she would cheat on me until today, which is clearly going to do if she goes to a resort with him. She's a good-looking woman, but she has been very loyal for the past 10 years. I am shocked. What should I do? How can I fix this? She thought I was checked out of the marriage, but it's clear she's the one giving up. So at first it seems like people are on his side, saying she's for the street, she's clearly cheating on you and just moving on without officially divorcing you.
Typical vindictive female responses in here. You really need to go somewhere else for advice because this is a cesspool.
I mean, hey, can't blame this guy for thinking that it's pretty clear it sounds like the wife is having an affair. I think it's fair to say these people are rather pathetic to excuse cheating just because he hasn't gone out of his way to do an expensive trip with her in 5 years? Trying to make an excuse that, oh, just because a partner's unhappy, they're allowed to cheat and betray their partner. No, you break up with your partner then if you're not happy with them anymore. You don't deceive them by implying you're still going to be together despite you clearly doing things that make you not being together anymore. Now, I don't know if this is a guy or a gal commenting this, but men, take care of your wives or someone else will. It's like a wife-sitting business, but she's sitting on someone else's duck. I can totally imagine either a disgruntled divorced dad saying this, or a misandrist who thinks being unfaithful is girl bossing. But okay, this makes some people question, why don't you want to go, dude? You clearly say you don't have any valid reasons. But what are those reasons, nonetheless? Well, I don't want to go because it's a long weekend in Canada, and I'd rather just hang out at my cabin. Also, she arranged childcare, but this way we won't have to worry about having someone watch the kids. More info about the coworker, I don't know anything about him. She never talked about work. She goes to work and comes right back home. When she's not at work, she's with the kids and is never on her phone. So if she's having an affair, she's really damn good at hiding it. So essentially, the strongest reason this man has to not go on a luxury trip around the world with his wife is, I don't wanna. I just wanna do my thing instead. Damn, sir. Are you aware that marriage it involves two people? You know that, right? Makes it understandable that some say, like, mate, your wife brought up a want to you, you didn't listen, you ignored her and couldn't explain to her why you can't meet her want, and now you're shocked she is suddenly, quote-unquote, checking out of the marriage? At this point, do you excuse the potential affair then? Or do you think that regardless, she should be notifying him that it's over? Well, that's when we recover this post on the Wayback Machine that was posted a day after the original. And it's likely the reason husband suddenly aborted his post from Reddit. Hi, I'm the wife who booked a trip with her co-worker. Well, I'm really embarrassed about all of this. A few things. My husband doesn't use social media. I'm surprised he made a Reddit account at all. When I saw the post, I confronted him about it. He said he made the post to prove a point, but clearly stopped reading the responses early on. 2. I only made my initial post to try to show him that wanting to go on a 10-year anniversary trip wasn't asking a lot. I deleted the post because I was embarrassed he didn't want to travel with me. I know not to get marriage advice from Reddit, of all places, but I always like to hear other people's point of view. 3. My coworker is gay. My husband knows that. I've known him for 4 years and talk about him all the time. He paid his own way and is only going because none of my friends could go, mom life, and he wanted to check out the island as he is getting married there next fall. My husband doesn't want me traveling with some guy he never met, but none of my girlfriends could go, and I didn't want to go alone. 4. I'm standing firm that I needed a vacation. Yes, I wanted a 10-year anniversary vacation to our honeymoon spot, and I'm really sad it's not happening. It's been 5 years since my last vacation, and that was to visit his family, so really 7 years since my last fun vacation. I've had 2 kids, survived a pandemic, and worked my butt off to get an executive-level job. I'm getting the hell out of here for a few days. Also, what the frick is that about him wanting to go to his cabin? He never told me that. Plus, he goes there at least 8 times a year. I asked him about that, and he said that it's because it's what he enjoys doing, and he didn't want to tell me because would make me feel bad. Anyways, this whole thing is embarrassing. I will probably delete this post later. So there you have it. Despite this man trying to accuse her of being the one who's actually checking out of this marriage, it clearly seems like he's the one who's just stopped trying in general. As other comments highlight, he asks how he can fix this in the original post and clearly just doesn't. She literally confronts him about this issue to find a way to resolve it. And what does he do? He sulks about the fact that she might get upset for him doing something that purely benefits him and not her. Wow, my man, it's almost as if you're aware that what you're doing isn't actually good for the relationship or for your mutual happiness. Here, this comment deciphers what he was saying.
How can I make this go away without
Any compromise, communication, or need for me to do anything?
my wife, my life partner, my chosen, most important person I was extremely lucky to find wants to go on vacation?
And I don't wanna.
This two-parter also has a case of the comments digging into the OP, but I think you might be more on their side. Am I the a-hole for revealing my brother's body count to his fiancé? I, 30 female, was having a girls' night with my little brother's 28 male's fiancé, who's 24 female. They recently got engaged after dating for about a year. I enjoy hanging out with my soon-to-be sister-in-law, and this was one of the only times I've hung out with her without my brother in tow. So, we were all having a ball, and most of us were a bit tipsy, and she started asking me about my marriage and some more intimate questions, like how does it feel to be with one person for the rest of your life, and all that jazz. Now, following this conversation, someone in the group asked everyone how many folks each gal has slept with. I honestly wasn't comfortable with the conversation, but my soon-to-be sister-in-law sort of took hold of the topic and mentioned that her and my brother don't concern themselves with each other's past. Her words were, "The past stays in the past, and if he slept with 20 women, what does it matter to me?" I agree with her, but this is where I probably messed up. My little brother was somewhat adventurous. In his late teens and early 20s, he was a college athlete and in a frat. As we went to the same college and had a lot of mutual friends, this is information that was made aware to me without my wanting, to be honest. So I know the ballpark of his body count, and it's well over 50 women, probably closer to 100, and my brother confirmed this to me when I asked him if he was being safe with his decisions at that time. Example, going to the doctor to get tested and such. She followed up her comment with something like, "And even if it was a huge number, like 35 people or so, I wouldn't care." Her saying that prompted me to ask, what if it was 50 women? She got sort of strange, a look on her face, and mouthed the word 50. But I played it off like I didn't know what I was talking about and was more so curious about what her cutoff range for a lot is. But fast forward a few days, and I meet them both for lunch, and she seems sort of sullen, and my brother is being short with me. When she goes to the bathroom, I ask my brother what's up, and he basically blames me for having revealed his past history to his fiancée. And now she is acting strange towards him. I explained that it was a slip of the tongue and I didn't confirm any number, but now he is mad, and a couple of our mutual friends have let me know that I screwed up. Am I the a-hole? Well, come on, Tater Tot fans. Andrew Tate headshiners? Is he for the streets or is he just a successful mating partner? As we all know, the more hydraulic presses a sausage goes through, the smaller and squished up it gets. It's just basic biological science. But real talk, I think it's fair to have some preference in that regard if you care about STDs and, basic bodily health, let alone the fact that a lot of people who do sleep around a lot develop a anxiety of commitment. Of course, that's not everyone who has casual relationships, but weed's also technically not addictive, but you still see people habitually smoking it, One person even theorizes that the way the fiancé was throwing the numbers out, I bet she was fishing for either the real number or reassurance that it was way lower than she was thinking. And hey, that's a fun possibility. reality. But oh man, these comments. Some people are either projecting their frustrations at this person or being equally as ironically judgmental as the incels we make fun of for shaming women for body counts. Like, of course, a lot of Utahs accusing her of being a jealous teenager. Others wondering what OP's body count is too. It sounds like a deflection due to insecurity. If it's not jealousy due to pseudo-incest. Yes, that's gotta be it. Her pondering how comfortable she would be with the actual number makes her totally into her brother all along. Oh yeah, the brother made the conscious choice to have a body count of 50 to 100 and now feels that he can't have a healthy relationship without hiding this fact. This is absolutely definitive that he now has to find someone who equally slept around. That's the only kind of person he's allowed to date now to be happy. Look, I don't know about you, but I don't think relationships are like entry-level job positions. You can't exactly be over-experienced and have that be a bad thing. So with all the smack towards them, Opie did respond in a comment saying, yeah, I can accept that I was totally the a-hole in this situation, but really, I did not mean to be the a-hole. For what it's worth, my brother and soon-to-be sister-in-law are fine now. She actually did text me, sort of, thanking me for alluding to it. In the end, it hasn't changed anything between them. Also, my brother and I are alright. It was really just one lunch that he was like, what the frick, dude? In the end, he knows it was not out of malice towards him. Like, damn, it gets crazy. Some people, just based on this story alone, are immediately believing that, well, I think you believe your brother was reckless in using women, so she needed to know his past. Personally, I bet he was reckless in using women, but I have to assume it was consensual. Well, yeah, because I mean, otherwise it's like assuming that he's someone who commits assault. Like, that's not just blatantly assumptuous, that's dangerously assumptuous. You are accusing them of committing crimes just because he has slept around. To highlight this response to that comment,
Here is what you think. It is exactly what I think, despite not knowing your brother from Adam. So, also, I guess I have to assume your brother is not a rapist.
like, yeah, I mean, good-looking college athlete. What woman would possibly want to sleep with someone like that? He must be tricking them somehow. So with the comments devolving critical thinking skills, the OP returns 3 days later with an update. Y'all, I showed my brother the post after apologizing for my mistake, and mostly he laughed but was baffled by at the hustle replies, my brother and future sister-in-law are fine. My future sister-in-law actually approached me privately and let me know that she was happy to have the conversation now with my brother versus later. She did say it was a shock when he told her his history, but at that point, I excused myself out of the conversation and let her know I would not be having any discussion about my brother's history from here on out. My brother is not plotting his revenge like commenters and messengers are implying. He understands that although this was not in my court to say, he probably shouldn't have waved it off at the early stages of their relationship like he had done. Yes, brother and sister-in-law are still together. To the internet psychologists who diagnosed me with psychopathy and narcissism, you should consider touching grass. For what it's worth, I also got a lot of messages telling me that they wished intimate history was discussed in greater detail with their partners prior to marriage. Take that as you will. I also got messages that were pretty explicit and in the opposite direction. For those who tried to imply my brother and I have an incestuous relationship, please close the Poon tabs and wipe the Cheeto dust off your fingers. Something I didn't mention was that I was a college athlete myself, and word travels fast in those groups. I'm close enough with my brother to ask if he was being safe with his choices, and that's how I came to know his past. No, I'm sorry, IP, but you being concerned for your family members' health and well-being, no one does that if they're not interested in sleeping with them. I know this because I watch anime all the time. Cheeto dust. Now, this next story may be familiar. I can recall us reading about it last year, but be rest assured, they are different. So beginning on January 20th, I am 17 female and have an identical twin sister. We are quite different when it comes to personality. She is more extroverted, always had many friends from various groups, while I am more introverted, have always been geekier, and prefer a smaller, closer circle of friends. We don't share many common friends, except for a few from our childhood at a different school. Well, our birthday is next Saturday, and yesterday, one of my sister's friends sent me a message inviting me to my sister's surprise party. I was confused because obviously we share the same birthday, so I asked if I could also celebrate mine there, inviting a few of my friends as well. She replied that the party would be held in the party hall of her building, and it wasn't possible to invite everyone, but I could bring 2 of my friends. She later messaged saying they would only buy 1 cake, but I could bring my own and have a separate birthday song after my sister's. Today, she added me to the party's WhatsApp group, which already includes 47 people, myself included. Even though we're very different, my sister and I have a great relationship and have always dreamed of celebrating our 18th birthday together. We had plans to go out with our childhood friends to a bar in the evening and drink a lot. But today, I found out that our childhood friends are also in the party group, and I messaged them about our plans. They said they liked the idea of the surprise party, thought my sister would love it, and are trying to get me excited about it too. But the issue is, I'm not keen on the party idea. It's going to be crowded, and I won't be able to spend time with my sister the way I want it. I might come off as spoiled, but I feel like an afterthought. And this is not how I want to spend my birthday. I'd prefer to spend it with my own group of friends, but I also know that my sister would be very disappointed if I didn't attend the party. I don't want to spoil the surprise for her, so I don't want to tell her what's happening. I'm at a loss about what to do. I spoke to my parents, but their advice didn't help. I just don't know what to do. Naturally, the comments say, this is absolute BS. You're being thrown to the bench for your own birthday. I just feel like it's an unwritten rule that unless you're already in your mid to late 20s and above, if you were celebrating a birthday for a twin, and those twins are actually close with each other, you have to celebrate both of their birthday at the same time. Where's that on the 10 Testaments? Add that. Make that an 11th Testament. Ultimately, everyone says this is BS. Don't go and enjoy the time with your friends. Get screenshots of the shifty messages for when your sister is upset you didn't go. Her friends will most likely lie about it. I'm surprised you and your sister haven't spoken already about birthday plans. Is there a reason? Well, according to OP, that's where this whole surprise comes in. So we've already made plans to go to a bar with our childhood friends. My sister believes she's spending the afternoon with her friend who's planning the party, then coming home to prepare for the bar. However, her friend plans to accidentally leave the birthday gift behind, so they'll need to swing by her place for her to give it to my sister, and then, surprise! Now, of course, you can argue, well, some of OP's childhood friends are going to be at this surprise party anyway. Why are you so upset? You're basically going to get the same thing as this bar idea, except it's your twin's friends that are organizing this instead of just you and your twin. But this is where OP chimes in a bit more, stating that at the party it's going to be 90% of their sister's friends. Sure, she will still have her childhood friends and the two friends that she was allowed to invite, and yes, she feels like it does sound a bit spoiled and immature, but nonetheless, they feel like it would be an afterthought and that they have just been forgotten at their own party. So what do you think? Do you agree that it's kind of weird? Do you think the OP has the right to police her twin sister's friends on how they want to celebrate their friend? Well, that's when we come to the update 2 days later. So, Saturday, I was feeling anxious by the birthday plans, and I was crying in the kitchen. My mom noticed and came over to comfort me. When I told her I was upset about the party, she decided to tell me the truth. The party was actually a surprise for me as well, and all my friends were invited too. Yesterday, I called Melissa, the friend organizing the party, and she confirmed what my mom has said. Melissa explained that she wanted to spend my sister's birthday with her, especially since she might be moving away for college soon. She knew we had plans to celebrate our birthday with each other and our childhood friends, who are our only mutual friends, so she had the idea to arrange a surprise party with everyone, including my friends. She told this idea to our childhood friends, my friends, and my parents, and they all approved. Now, Melissa had already figured out how to get my sister to the party. She's going to spend the afternoon with her and pretend she left her gift at home, but she struggled to find a way to bring me there without spoiling the surprise, since we are not friends. Her solution was to make it seem like the party was only for my sister, limiting me to bringing just two friends who would actually be in on the plan. It all made sense now, especially why our childhood friends hyping me up to go to the party. She told me she didn't think things through and didn't realize how hurt I would be by the situation. She apologized for it. She thought it would be a nice surprise, and she didn't want me to suspect the party was for me too. So I must admit, it wasn't how I envisioned spending my 18th birthday, but I've warmed up to the idea. I'm excited now. I'm just gonna say,
I would absolutely do what Melissa's doing here. Not on purpose, but just knowing how good I am at organizing this sort of thing. Melissa was planning this thinking, oh, this will be the best little excuse. Oh, the OP's gonna be so surprised and happy. And it turns out you just shattered their heart over the last week. I have to agree with some of these comments. It is kind of surprising no one in the original post had even thought of that. That, hey, maybe Melissa's saying all this stuff to you because she's trying to hide something, not just because they all don't care or respect you. As much as we like to assume that on the internet, not everyone has malicious intentions against everyone out there. Anyway, friends, we might end today's video there. Thank you as always for watching. Love your faith. Remember to drink water or I will choke you. That's not a threat, it's a promise. Bye-bye.